When it was released in early 2011, the Nintendo 3DS was greeted to a rocky launch due to a limited library of new titles and high price point. But with time, Nintendo tweaked and nurtured its flagship portable console, making it not only a fun experience for all sorts of gamers, but also one of the most decorated products, let alone portable consoles, the company has ever released. Moving forward to the now in 2015 with a naming scheme that's sure to confuse a handful of consumers, the new Nintendo 3DS XL keeps much of what was familiar with the older model on the table, while adding and removing features that both helped and hurt my reception toward it.
Now don't for a second confuse this for a next-generation portable. It's still very much a 3DS, just in a more refined package. It's faster with more RAM and processing power. It has more input like extra shoulder buttons and a pressure-sensitive nub for C-Stick that adds more gameplay options like moving 3D cameras, a face tracking sensor that actively adjusts the 3D feature depending on your angle relative to the console, a brand new IPS LCD panel with better viewing angles to match the improved 3D, and NFC for amiibo support, because that is all the rage nowadays.
This is easily one of the best portable consoles Nintendo has ever made, but when I start to contemplate who this product is for, things start to feel a little odd. Nintendo, as a condition on their network, only allows for one registered portable device per account, which means that if you want to swap consoles, you're going to have to do a full system transfer. Now, if you're like me and are upgrading from something like this, or the 2DS, or the older 3DS XL, the transfer process between this and the new 3DS isn't exactly what you'd call the best of times. Now for starters, take a look around the new 3DS, and no matter how hard you look around it, you're not going to find an SD card slot because, well, it's behind the back plate, which is locked in, annoyingly enough, by these tiny little screws. And when you unscrew them, you still won't find an SD card because it doesn't use SD cards, it uses micro SDs.
Which is stupid.
What he said.
But that was the least of the problems with the transfer process, as I found myself struggling to meet its most basic requirement.
Oh. No access point in range. Wait, do I need to be connected to the internet? Okay, well, let's see if we can hook up to the RIT Wi-Fi.
Oh god, that's gonna be fun.
I know, right? Okay, you know what? How about this? We'll attempt the guest network.
Doesn't the guest network just tell you to stop being a guest?
Wait, really?
Usually just redirects you to a page that says become official.
Oh, come on.
Give it a shot though, you can try it.
Personal hotspot.
But still, why would they make you be connected to the internet?
Yeah, you know, you'd think that you'd just be able to do this, like, easily, but no.
Like, do they want to keep tabs on you when you're, like, updating your system?
I think so. I mean, I guess that's also partially why this thing is screwed on in the back. Because they don't want people pirating, so what's the best way to do that? Let's try to make it inconvenient for people by making the SD card less accessible.
Our case was a bit extreme, taking over 30 minutes to get our 3DS online in the first place to start the transfer process.
I had to basically fiddle around with all the settings, trying to connect to the school Wi-Fi, and then I tried to do the transfer, and it told me to do system updates for both consoles. So now that that's all done, because I've done that, I think we're ready. I think we could finally do this transfer.
That'd be cool.
Yes, that would be, because sunlight's going down.
From a power user standpoint, the process was pretty easy, though admittedly annoying to go through as it involved bouncing back, forth, and in between consoles and the computer. It just seemed unintuitive and probably can be made a bit simpler and easier. Okay, so Nintendo might not be doing the best job at pleasing its upgrading customers, but what about the latecomers into the 3DS family, its new customers? Where those upgrading have to deal with finding a small-headed screwdriver they may or may not have and a tedious data transfer process, newcomers have to deal with finding a charger they more than likely will not have unless they've previously owned a DSi, all because the new 3DS does not come with one. If I didn't know any better, I'd be hard-pressed to believe we were in 2015. Oh, right. According to Shigeru Miyamoto, Nintendo is in a post-Wii and DS era where the company is trying to step away from its focus on the casual gamer to appeal to the more core fans, both outside and inside their product ecosystem. And the new 3DS very much embodies that push, bringing in a whole set of noteworthy improvements to its flagship portable line. But with all of its problems and inconveniences, I'm kind of just left wondering, who is this new 3DS really for? What is it trying to achieve? And to be honest, I don't believe Nintendo knows the answers to these questions. Or at least, I believe that they know the answers to these questions. I guess the worst part about it all is that if I went back in time to when I was deciding on whether I should buy the console or not, I would still probably choose to buy it. In a general sense, I feel like I'm part of a vicious cycle. One way or another, no matter how much Nintendo manages to muck up a release or product, I'll still love it and give it my money at some point down the road. And I'm confident that I'm not alone in that regard. And I guess in some sense, there is some merit there.